Oh my God, I hate video so much. But I just watched my friend Samantha J. Campen's video about the accent vlog. It's been going around, and I decided to try it. She inspired me. Hey, Sam, you're so cute. Also, I'm really interested in dialect and language and how people use it. So, and that's a whole geeky story for another time, but it's true. Based on my background in language and speech pathology was my undergrad major, and then I worked with people with Alzheimer's, and how they use language was my primary area of interest then. And basically story, and how we express ourselves and how we say words and how we use them is key, basically to life. So I really think it's interesting. Plus, I think Maryland should be represented because we get a bad rap sometimes. And I come from a really sort of the tri-state around here, if you want to call Maryland, D.C., Virginia, where a lot of strange things come together linguistically, and a lot of people are from somewhere else that is not here, and that has really changed, I think, perceptions of how we speak. And I'll just end it right there because I could go on and on. I am a fourth generation Washingtonian, which is very unusual anymore. Most people who live here are not from here. They've come here from elsewhere, and they stay for usually a fairly little while, not a long time, and they're here. But my family has been in Maryland and D.C. Primarily since the early part of the 20th century. And probably before that, I've done some Ancestry.com stuff, but we came here to New Jersey and did the DC area pretty much. So that was where we were from. My mom's side is kind of split between the country out towards Baltimore, what used to really be country and now is suburban, and inner suburbs. My father's parents grew up in Washington, in the southeast quadrant of the city. My grandfather in a very large family of 18 kids, and my grandmother on that side in a fairly small family of Irish immigrants. So I am Washingtonian. It's how I identify with a hefty percentage of Marylanders. So it means nothing to people now, but to us it means a lot. And so it's just really interesting how the voices sound. Back then, Maryland was really the South, and I still carpetbag being Southern, but I know that's not true. My mom's dad was born on a farm in Burtonsville, Maryland, which is, again, out towards Baltimore more than D.C. So we sound, to me, Southern. We always did. My mom's family also has roots in Southern Virginia, Tidewater, Virginia. So the language has really changed and been affected by that accent. Now you won't hear that here so much. But that's how we identify, and I think we tend to sound a little more Southern than your average, and we are south of the Mason-Dixon, although real Southerners, quote unquote, would call us liars and they'd say we were Yankees. So the deal here is for us to say, I've made notes, for us to say the following words. I'm reading rules, I'm trying to be good, and say them in our local speech, I guess, or how we've always said them. And I have to say, I don't necessarily speak like everybody else from here, so I don't know. But the following words, and I will try them as they are written. Aunt. I say aunt for the sister of your dad or mom or grandpa or grandma, the person who is your relative. So that's aunt. It's never aunt. No way. And in our family, it vacillates depending whether you call them by their name, just their name. Like I don't call my Uncle Jimmy. I call him Jimmy. I don't know if that's a family thing, age thing, but with my great aunts and uncles, because I had so many, definitely it was Uncle Michael, Aunt Sarah, and Catherine, knew that whole thing. Root. Never route. I don't say route unless I'm, pillaging something. That's about it. But it's root around here. Wash. I say wash. I have people in my family who say wash. I have people in my family who say Washington. You will not hear me say Washington. My father says Washington. I don't say that. That's very West Virginia, too. The wash thing. I don't know where they got it. I say wash. Oil, not oil. That's it. Theater. Iron. I worked with a woman from West Virginia named B who said Arn, and I loved it. I kind of wanted to steal it, but I never did. Salmon. Yeah, salmon. I work with a lady now who says salmon, and it makes me cry. Caramel. Please don't say caramel, people. Caramel. No caramel, please. Oh my God, caramel. I should say, and this will make me sound crazy, but since when do I care about sounding crazy on the internet? I have this weird, the synesthesia. Have you heard of that? Where you see colors or you see music, like you visual representations. I have what I call linguistic synesthesia, where I have visceral reactions to words. Like I have a real problem with certain words and phrases. They really can upset me or make me really happy. And caramel is one of those. Don't like it. Fire. Fire. Water. No water here. My brother-in-law is from Philly, and they say water. We say water. Or I say water. Shore. 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 Data. I say data sometimes when I'm trying to be fancy, like at work, but it's data. Ruin. Same thing with ruin. Ruin makes me laugh, but I say ruin. Crayon. I say crayon. I don't say crown. I know there are a lot of people who say crown. I don't know where y'all live. But crown? Really? Crayon. 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 Not crown. It's really sketchy with how I'm looking at this, but I'm trying to read notes, and I'm going to move you again. Little video thing. New Orleans. Oh, I skipped toilet. Oh, thank God. I hate toilet. It's a yucky word, right? My grandfather said turlet. But he was a hick. He was a Maryland hick. He was a riot, but he said turlet. I say toilet, which is probably good for my career, because if I'd ever said toilet in a job interview, that would have been bad. Or on a date. That would be cute, right? They could try that. New Orleans. It's New Orleans. I will not fake and say New Orleans. New Orleans. I only, anybody who says that ironically, if you've been to New Orleans, please don't do that. Really. New Orleans. Not New Orleans either, although I've heard that said, in some pretty safe circumstances. Pecan. Both. How do people say both? Again. If you're saying again, well, I guess I take that back. I've heard people use it in certain cultural groups. Okay, cool. Probably, I'll say probably if I'm lazy. And we're talking formally, like if I'm tired, or maybe I'll say probably. I don't know if I'm hanging out on my couch with you, I might say probably, but probably. Spitting image. Well, yeah, spit an image if you're having fun, but spitting image. Who says, well, y'all say spitting image? I don't know. Alabama, lawyer. I wish I could be real Southern and say lawyer. I like that. That's kind of hot. Coupon. I do say coupon. I don't say coupon. Coupon. I know people feel really emotional about that, but it's coupon. Coupon. Mayonnaise. I'm moving you again. Over here. Hi. Mayonnaise. Syrup. Ugh. Syrup makes me uncomfortable. Pajamas. I don't say jammies. I don't say jam. Whatever people say. I say pajamas. Caught. All right. Maryland, we're known for our O's, which could be a hard one, not one. I don't know. We tend to have this really kind of long, drawn out, like circular vocal O, which you'll hear if I'm drunk or angry or tired. Those are the things. And I'm not from Baltimore, which typically the pronounced O is more a Baltimore sound, but and it's a long O, not a short O, but you'll hear it. They did a little thing on 30 Rock. I'll try to find the clip and put it in the post. But you just heard it, post. Like if you say post, like a little, but Baltimore, straight up Baltimore, if you hang out there, you're going to hear post, most. You hear my lispy thing there, but definitely our O's. I don't know where it came from. Lord only knows. I have no idea. But I've also lived in Ohio, which the Midwest will completely change your rate of speech and your pronunciation. So, All right, this is super long. This is really long, and I'm sorry if you're watching this, you love me, or you want blackmail fodder. So screw you. Answer the following questions. What is it called when you throw toilet paper on a house? Toilet papering? Wrapping. Wrapping or toilet papering. That's all I've ever heard. I did not prepare either. You should be really impressed. I did not read these ahead of time, come up with any canned answers. I just did it. Answers is all, the A thing is also Maryland too. What is the bug that curls into a ball when you touch it? I don't know the answer to that question. Oh my God, I don't know entomology. Potato bug? Slug? Curly bug? I don't know. What is the bubbly carbonated drink called? Coke. It is called Coke here. It is not. I grew up with it calling it Coke. If it was Sprite, if it was 7-Up, if it was ginger ale, if you got it at a fountain, it was a Coke. I know we're unusual. I think it might be a DC thing. I don't know because there are other people in this region who don't do that. But it's Coke here. Some people call it soda. It's never pop. Pop was Ohio. What do you call gym shoes? Tennis shoes, mostly. We grew up calling them tennis shoes. Running shoes, cross trainers, never gym shoes. What do you say to address a group of people? I say y'all. I have always said y'all. I find myself very comfortable with y'all. I have no baggage with y'all. I think it's a nice, multi-purpose, inclusive. I hate you. I use you guys and I hate it. It's really lazy and I shouldn't do that. And plus it's not gender specific, which, you're going to call a bunch of old people or women, you guys, I think it's rude, but I still do it. But y'all is sorry, or all y'all, which is really great, if you're just trying to, super inclusive. What do you call the kind of spider that has an oval shaped body and extremely long legs? Daddy long legs? Another trick question. Who made this up? Internet meme people are crazy. What do you call your grandparents? God, it's so long. This is a complicated answer too. I'm trying to talk fast. I talk fast. My mom's mom was grandmommy. My mom's dad was granddaddy. My father's mom was to everyone in the family except for me, grandma. But I called her Ma because when I was little, I couldn't say grandma. I had all these issues with pronunciation when I was little, so I shortened it to Ma, turned into Ma, like you little idiot baby, right? So that was what I called her for a long time, and then it became grandma. And then my grandfather on that side was also granddaddy. We were a granddaddy family on both sides, but I call my father daddy also, as does my sister. So he's never been dad. Never. He will never be dad. So daddy's a big deal. Mommy was, part of a lot of things, but Ma became grandma. What do you call the wheeled contraption in which you carry groceries at the supermarket? Grocery cart, shopping cart. The whole buggy thing, trolley, whatever. No, doesn't fly here. It's a cart. Grocery or shopping. What do you call it when rain falls while the sun is shining? Nice. That's pretty nice, right? What do you call it when the rain falls? There's meteorology on here? Whatever. God, I don't know. A rainbow? A rainbow? An aberration? A weird thing? I don't know. Better than just plain raining? I don't know. What do you guys call it elsewhere? What's wrong with you? And finally, what is the thing you use to change the TV channel? Remote control. Remote control, because we like to get our O's in there as much as possible. Some people call it a clicker. If you're being ridiculous, I guess you call it a clicker. Or if you're just being my outlet, I'm looking at my outlet. It's like growing out of my head. I can see it. Or no, it's my heat thing. What do I call myself? Distractible. That's what I call myself. The thing you use to change the TV channel, the clicker or the remote control. And that's the last question. So this is 14.5 minutes long, and I apologize to anyone who had to watch it. I'm going to go back and look at Sam's and see how long it is. And if it's really super long, I'm going to shorten mine or fix it or something. But that's the Maryland voice as I exhibit it, the Maryland Washingtonian voice as I exhibit it. And it's really not that exciting. I apologize. I don't have any good words, but go Ravens. There you go.